Hi everybody, this is Daisy from Daisy's Love Spool. My name is Daisy and I want to take you on a trip today to make these folios. But they're made out of envelopes. Just regular plain envelopes like these ones. So let me show you the three I've made as an example. So this is one that's made out of two envelopes. So I'll go into that in detail a little bit later because, well, I'm going to make one with you. So you're going to see this one. So this has two. So I've made one that has three. Close it up with a little cute closure. So this is the front. And this is the back. I've also made something into this little pocket here. Oh. Get into it. Go, 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 go. Thank you. When you flip it open, it's like this. I've also made a little tuck spot on here. And on this one, I also made a tuck spot within a tuck spot. Just because you can. And behind this tuck spot, you can see I have room for another bit. When I open it, it's like this. So it has three envelopes. And I didn't want to show the envelopes inside just like I did with these. So I covered them. These are paint chips. You can get at your local hardware store to see if you like the color paint or not. This and the outside is a masterboard I pre-made. So also it's handy to make your masterboards in advantage. And this one really surprised me because it's a masterboard with purple, excuse me, with purples on it. And purple isn't necessarily my color. I love it. So I had to think outside my own box. And when I figured this color out, oh my god, I have to say I love purple now. So that was a change for me. So this is the purple one. And then the big one. So this took me about 2 days to finish because I was a little bit knick-knacking about the paper. The paper is from Studio Light Essentials. And I also used the die cut from the Romantic Moments, also from Studio Light Essentials. So, and this has multiple envelopes. So I used big ones, small ones. And as you can see through the flip, I even used a straight edged because I didn't have any other envelopes at this time. But as you can see, this is a standalone for a journal on its own. And I wanted to make it as completely as possible. I've used the die cuts, I used stickers from my own stash, washi tape to tape the big ones together. And you can see the spine of this one. And at first glance, I wanted to cover this one. But then again, I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. Because when you flip and flap it like this a gazillion times, I thought it would rip the washi or make it look so uncohesive. So I thought, no. So these are the three examples that I've made. Let me grab some envelopes and we'll make one together. So I've bought a big stash of these kind of envelopes the other day. Mainly because there were vintage ones and a few brown ones just like these with their gorgeous little images on them. I sorted them out. I had some fancy ones that I kept for myself and these are the plain ones. So I wanted to show you how to make these lovely flippies with these. So for the first one, this one, 2 envelopes, preferably from the same size. So just flip that like that. And then you're going to fit one envelope into the other. Make it firmly and tight. So they are the same size. You have to wiggle them a bit sometimes. As you can see, it is now all the way in. All the edges are straight. And then I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. Glue this flap down. And turn it like this. Press it down firmly. So what my mistake with this one was, and maybe it's not a mistake, but as you can see, it doesn't lie flat. It wobbles. And the reason I think it wobbles is because, not because of the flap on the outside, but the flap on the inside. The first flap, first time I opened this up, glued this down like this. But when it's filled and you have flip-flopped it a few times, that's becoming a raised surface within the inside of your envelope. So that's why this one is wobbly and the other ones isn't. You can see a little air bubble. Maybe you can't see it directly, but there is an air bubble because of the way I glued the inside of this envelope. So that is something I'm not going to do again. Yes, so this is the main part you need for just this folio. So we're going to take it up a notch and we're going to make this one. So still having these, grab another one of your same size envelopes and lay it in here. Flip it down and take art out again. And rub it like this. So now we have, oh, that one didn't quite do it as I wanted. Can I still, ooh. Yeah, well, not every video is going to be the best. Let go. Yes, thank you. So, doing it again. Another good layer of art because I ruined the first layer. So again, now doing the other way around, just to be safe. So that's better. And it doesn't matter which way you flip it, which way you turn it. Flip it this way, flip it that way. And as you can see, because of the third one, you could have, when you flip-flop them, let me get rid of this first. So it's a glue remover. And if art is dry enough, you can remove it with this one. So when you fold it in, one of the envelopes is going to have a little bit of air. But that's okay, because that is pretty normal. So this is how I made this one. As you can see, 3-way folio flip-flop from an envelope. So now let's grab all the other ingredients you're gonna need for the big one. The big one is a little challenging, and I think I've made a boo-boo with adding these two extras. I don't know why, but I love it. It has enough room to expand, so you can make it a little bit of a gator mouth, but I think it's too much to my taste. So I'm just grabbing a few of these envelopes, and don't worry, this is not my address. I'm not a sir, and especially don't live in Amsterdam. Ugh. No. So the same principle. I'm not going to glue these down because I don't want to make another one of the big ones. But the same principle is you glue this down like you did in the first, but then you grab envelopes that are a bit smaller. Oh, not this one because that's a cutie patootie. Like this one. And then you're going to glue. This one you're going to glue from the inside. So you have to wiggle a little bit. Oh, you see, that works better with a glued one. But you wiggle it a bit, so you leave room in the spine. So what you won't get a bulky middle. You won't ruin this envelope, and you won't ruin that envelope. So when you are placing your envelope, leave space all around it, even around the crease. So I'm going to take another one, not this one, and maybe a little bit smaller. And then you're going to wiggle it around in the envelope. This can be a little bit tedious. How do you say it? So you place your envelopes the way you wanted it. So I like even lines. So I would glue it like this, just the way it is. Oh, sorry, I'm not fully in frame. And then you can close it up. You can either or do the same with the extras and glue them up as thick as you wanted it, or just leave it at this one, just one with two flaps. You can glue this together if you want to, so it's a middle flap that you just have to use, but then you really have to be really careful. You have two of the same sizes. These are the same sizes, so you can make it when you open it up, it's going to stand out like this. But the way I've made it, it's with the spacing. As you can see, I've spaced it. Let me close up on you. In between, try to take this as even as possible, because then you won't get a very bulky spine. So you can decorate it as you want, but you know there is a line to keep away from. I hope that makes sense. So when you are finished stacking them up as much as you want, you can decorate them. So I'm not going to glue this one because I don't want to make another one of these bulky ones, but we can try and to decorate this one. So let me grab my stuff and be right back with you. So I've pulled out a masterboard that I previously made on this paper, just because I didn't know what to do with it. And it's all giant advertisements from Dutch magazines. And I thought this was funny to do again, as like I did with this one, with a pre-made masterboard. So let me grab a pencil and my cutter so we can measure this to be the same width as that I did before. So this takes down the longest time usually. So I'm just going to make a mark and grab my giant cutting board and make the cut. me see. I have to get used to this one because it is a little bit different than a normal cutting board. But I love it. I found it at a thrift store. So let me see. Is this the right size? Yes. No, it's a bit too short. Oh well, just gonna live with that. And then another mark for the downside. I'm also not sure if it is really straight, this one, but then again, that's okay. Oh, it's not, you see? It's not quite straight, but oh, not totally in frame. So I'm going to finish these panels for all three, and I'm going to be right back with you. So I'm back. I've cut down the masterboards. What I forgot to say about the masterboards, because this is an envelope, and sometimes masterboards are made on thicker cardstock. I've made them on a regular piece of paper, so they're still a bit flimsy. But for this project, it doesn't matter. So I also grabbed a second masterboard. Therefore, I cut 2 extra panels. So now I need to figure out how I want to make this one. So I think this is going to be the outside. And which one do I want on front? I think this one will be the front. This one. Choices. As you can see, this isn't fully a good size, but and again, these are choices. Oh, I hate choices. I'm gonna go with this one for the front, so I'm grabbing an extra matte. Like I said, I love to do my inking. So this is just, oh, I'm using tea dye, by the way, just to make it a little edgy, a little bit worn. So if you like making masterboards and have them on handy and you have no idea what to do with them, this could be a great project. Even for all the scrap envelopes you have, even maybe if you have envelopes with windows, that could also be an awesome idea to use them. I do not have any envelope with windows, so I don't use them. I'm just gonna do one of these in camera, because seeing me ink all the way is gonna be a bit boring. And if you want it darker, you can also go darker. Take vintage photo, for example. So I love to do the edges. Just give them an extra depth, as you can see. So with the envelopes, because it's a 3-way flap, I'm gonna flap it open like this. And this I'd like to really grunge up. As you can see, there's still stamps on there, still imprints of the things it used to be. As this is a special stamp for one of the, well, I would say almost oldest television station there is in the Netherlands, the NCRV. And as you can see, it's Hilversum, June 1st, 1985. 2 years after I was born. So it was celebrating its 60th birthday at that point. I was 2. Guess what? Can't remember a thing about that celebration. Oh. So I'm going to do this all the way around. I'll be right back. So I did the whole back. And some envelopes will be darker than the others. That's just something I cannot control. So I finished the first panel. Let's see if it's still okay-ish. Yes, it is. So let's grab our art again. And if you want to do this with scrapbook paper, please do. Do as pleased. Don't have to be a pre-made masterboard. It doesn't have to be a masterboard at all. Maybe you want to make a masterboard on the top of on the top of the envelope itself. So not a problem at all. The only thing I don't do is take off the stamps. I do ink around them and you'll see a little bit peeping through. So this is going to be a front. I also inked the back and thought I wanted to use this piece. The only thing I forgot, what I am seeing is inked not around the edges, so it won't stand out that much. And this paper is old newspaper from 19 something. So it's gonna take up the ink differently than regular new papers will do. So keep in mind that not always the ink will be the same color in all sorts of papers, because some papers are more resistant to ink than others, or some soak them up. Don't you love the patina on this back? I'm so bummed I'm going to cover this, but then again, I've made the masterboard for something, and today was the something the masterboard is going to be used for. So, am I straight? I am straight. So this is going to be the outside. Now, for this panel, I haven't quite decided yet if I wanted a plain, it's going to be next to each other, because if I'm going to do this, you see the white gives a totally different look than the brown sort of inked edges. So if I do this next to each other, I don't know if it's going to bother me because it's two of the same. So going to go big, or am I going to be a bit smaller? Then we'll cut around. You see, dilemmas, or will I do it like I did in the big one and just do a little flap with a focal point? But then again, if I do this will be the same. Flip it over. I can do this on the inside of this one, I think. And maybe just do make it this side tuck. And this can still be the same. So it hardly needs any decoration because of the girls. Sorry, I'm talking a bit slightly in mouth because I'm thinking out loud so you can hear my thought process. But I think I'm going to glue this down. And I'm going to ink everything up on the inside. And I'll be back again with you in a few seconds. While I was inking, I thought you might want to see how I do the inside. So I'm taking the back of my sheet of stickers and then doing it like this, because I do not want to color the inside of the envelope, but I do want the envelope edge to have the darker colors, even though I know now it's upside down, I know, but when I put my image like this, you see, you can still see this edge. And this one I haven't done yet. So you see the difference? Oh, this one is done. This one here isn't. So as you can see, you can still see white on the inside. If you do not like that, by all means, cover it with your ink. But I like to cover the edges, and I do not want to cover the inside, so I'm just shoving in a spare card, inking it up like so, and when I'm finished, I'm gonna put her down like that. See you in a bit. So I'm all inked up and done. I'm gonna show you what I want to do with this panel, because I think I want to make a notch just like in this one I made. You see the half notch? So what I did the other day was take my ruler and a pencil and draw a line. Oh, put the wrong side down. From point to point. And then you know what the middle is. See which way you want to go. So this is going to be the center. Let me grab my punch. So I have no idea which inch size this is, but this is the one I'm going to use. Checking again. This is going to be this way. Yes, I draw the line on the right side. So let me take off this cap. And there are lines inside of the punch, which will allow me to do the middle. I think this is... I have to turn it around, guys, otherwise I cannot see. So this is the middle. Wish me luck. It was the good thing. Yes, it was. So I need to re-ink this bits. So there we go. As you can see, she's going to fit here perfectly. But we also have to flip her over, because this is where we are going to be. And then I draw an imaginary line where I think the envelope is, kinda. So I know where to put glue. So this is art out and about again. Oh, it's doing perfectly. I thought it was gonna give me a little jam because I forgot to put on the pin, but I was lucky. So don't glue all the way to the edge you think the envelope is, because it might be a little bit closer than you thought. I'll put art all over, because I really want this one to stick. Flipping it over, grabbing back this one. So with art you need to be careful, because once it's stuck you don't get much wiggle room. So just to be safe, putting this one, if it is having a bit glue underneath it, I'll get underneath there. I'll be pressing it down on the side of my sticker sheet so it won't stick to the envelope on the inside. So as you can see, I can twist and turn all about. So this one is stuck, as you can see, and you can feel no glue. Yeah. So as you can see, I did all the inking. I inked this one all around just because I wanted to take a belly band in here. So, oh, I see I'm forget this. Oh no, I did forget the step. Ink the edges. Done it with everyone so far. So inking up the edges. Yet again with tea dye. Grab art again. I'm doing this with quite an amount of glue because it's a belly band. You never know what's going to be stuck in, out, in, out, in, out. So keeping it in place for a little bit. Then again, I wanted to do this one, but with a notch again. So moving this aside, doing the same thing I did with the other one, making a line from point to point. So you know where the middle is. Now, let's see. It's going to be this way up, so I have to draw a line in the middle. Am I straight? Let's do this. So I know this is going to be the middle. Checking it again. It's going to be this way. Here's the notch. Grabbing out the punch again. Centering it up to the middle. And yay! Did it right again. Yay for me. Now inking out this notch again. So I still have bits of ink on my mat, so that would be perfect. Then the other trick I did, this is going to be where it's going to get stuck. So I think, oh, I'll just see. Oh. So this is really near the edge. Did you see that? If I tilt it a bit back, you see the white? So I can do things, either tip it a little bit to the front or cut off the edge. I don't want to do the last one, so I'm tipping it a bit to the front, taping it down again. Keep in mind that this one was a bit close to the edge. So I'm so sorry guys, that was my sister-in-law. I was forgetting she was coming by. So I sort of got sidetracked where I was. But I made the belly band, glued this one down. As you can see, it's fully glued. So this is what we have so far. So you can leave it plain like this, because when you have a journal you want to work in, you can put bits and bobs and all sort of things behind the belly band as fitted. And if you know in which journal it is going to be, you can already put those things on it and in it. I'm going to leave it at this because I have no idea what kind of thing I want to do with it yet, but I do like the result. Of course, I'm not as thrilled as I am with this one, because this was a wow journey for me. But as you can see, you can, you know, go home, go big or go home with it. So, just a second, need to help my cat. She's playing with her Bella again. As you could see, is her name Bella, but she's playing with her little bell that's on her neck. So if you hear a ringing sound, that's Bella. So as I was saying, you can do whatever you want to do with this as you have it. And you can even, if you're gonna make it, think from like this one, if you want to put a ribbon between it, wait with this one and this one before you glue it down. But otherwise, go to town with it. Have fun. Make your three-way folio with just envelopes. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and all of the other ones that I've previously made and shown you. Happy crafting!